Hey guys, on this episode of Make It with Calvin, I'm going to be talking about these, my welded angle plate. So, let's dive into it. Okay, so in short, the idea behind this is deceptively simple. I like using angle plates when I'm fabricating stuff, and they can be a bit hard to come by. There are companies like Suburban Tool that sell them. They make nice cast iron ones, and while I've personally never used them, they're probably absolutely amazing to work with. But at about 20 bucks a pop, if you need a couple, it adds up really quick, plus potential shipping costs, being that they are kind of heavy. You get the idea. So my thought process was, it's not that expensive to get laser cut steel made. I know how to weld. I can borrow my dad's MIG welder. Why not try making my own? So obviously I know that these are not going to be as precise as even a milled angle plate, but for what I'm doing to steal the line from a fellow YouTuber, it is super good enough. For what I'm doing, if it's off by a degree or two, it's still going to be more precise than probably 95% of anything I'd ever build. And if I really needed something nice, I could just grab a Suburban Tool one. Especially if I was doing welding, I'd probably just get a couple of the squares that Fireball Tool sells. So for what I'm doing, this is more than adequate. And there are companies like, I believe it's Certiflat, that do make their own weldable squares. They claim they're accurate to within whatever. They're made from thicker steel, but the point is, it's not an uncommon thing. Also, it's not uncommon, especially for smaller CNC machines, for them to do what's called a weldment casting, where they literally water jet, laser cut, whatever, a bunch of steel pieces together, weld them, then machine them, which is something I'm not doing on these, and you have effectively a giant casting. So the concept that I'm using here is nothing new. So let's actually talk about the design of this a little bit. So as you'll see in the photo, I have two sets of braces on here. Now, a lot of angle plates, especially small ones, just have a central rib in them, and that probably works fine from a mechanical standpoint. I just don't like that, because there are some times where I want to put a clamp in the middle of something and that's in the way, and it's super irritating. Also, when I designed these, I made this gap in the back big enough that I can use these super awesome bar clamps from Harbor Freight. This is one of the giant ones that I have, because let's face it, you can always make it smaller, you can't make it bigger. I do use these when I'm building my carry-on micro size layout bases. That's another story for another time. But a nice thing about having the two braces right there is I can fit the bar clamp into that gap, and it works perfectly, which is awesome in case I did need to secure something with the bar clamp. One other thing that's nice is when I'm assembling kits, I love these plastic clamps from Harbor Freight. I buy them by the big old value pack bag, which is nice because they include a couple of big guys and a whole boatload of these little guys. But the nice thing is I still have enough room on the edge there to still make a good clamp with the small one, and I still have plenty of room in the middle there for the big guy if I really wanted to use that. Okay, so enough talk about the features of it. Let's talk a little bit about fabricating it. So what I do when I design things, it doesn't matter if it's for metal or for wood, whenever I reasonably can, I love doing tab and slot. I understand it's not everybody's favorite, it is a lot of work, but I will definitely say for something like this, it is invaluable. It doesn't mean that when you go to weld it together, you can just kind of, stick the two pieces together and then, stick the braces in there and then go, yeah, it'll be good enough. You can still mess it up. I did actually weld one together wrong because I thought everything was sitting flat, and I'm exaggerating it for the video, but the top was slanted relative to the bottom, so I can still use it to some degree. It's just kind of embarrassing. But let's talk a little bit about the other design features. Obviously, there are the two braces, which are super handy when clamping things, but you'll notice I didn't run them all the way to the top. It's partly to do with clamping things. It's partly to do with the fact that I wanted to keep it a little bit recessed on the inside, so if it's a tight fit application, it's not going to get in the way when you're welding. If you did decide to do a full weld on the side, you don't have to worry about that bead coming over the top. And then if you're setting it like this, it's sitting crooked, then you got to file it. I wanted to avoid all of that, especially if I was going to offer this as a non-welded item for people who wanted to weld their own as kind of like a practice project or something like that. So that's what I did. Now, I will say having the the braces be tab and slot makes assembling it a little bit trickier before you weld it, but when you go to weld it, it makes your life a whole heck of a lot easier. One other thing that I did is when I designed the tabs and slots on this, I intentionally made the pieces that were going to be fitting into here cut shorter than the nominal thickness of the material by at least 0.010 of an inch. The idea is, just in case there was a thinner portion of the material right there, I didn't want this surface to be protruding out and cause issues. I'd rather it be slightly inset to where it doesn't cause any problems, especially if there's a burr on the surface. So those are just kind of the little design details that can be a little bit tricky, but thinking ahead with things like that, especially for something where you're trying to make it semi-precision, really can help. Now, as for the laser cutting of these, I had my buddies over at Laser Bros cut them, and I gotta say, it was actually more affordable than I thought it would be. I threw these into an order with some other parts, and to make a whole boatload of them was, well, cheaper than I thought. I'm not gonna reveal the exact amount because I am planning on selling these, but let's just say it was super affordable, all things considered. So one other thing that you may have seen in the Q&A video, if you haven't seen that yet, is I held up one that was made out of acrylic. Now, the idea is not everybody needs, wants, or can afford a metal one, so why not offer an acrylic version? The long and the short of the reason why I chose acrylic is it's something that I can still reasonably glue together, although I do have to use nastier solvents like methyl ethyl ketone to pull it off, as I don't have any dedicated cement for acrylic. Ideally, you want something like methylene chloride, but that stuff is really nasty, and they've started to phase it out for health and safety reasons. So I would assume a lot of the stuff on the market now probably is methylene chloride based. Anyways, I'm just speculating. I haven't looked at the SDS or anything like that, but I was able to get them glued together, and both the acrylic and the metal ones, except for these guys, are on their way to my friend's place ahead of the Harrisburg show, where I will be offering these. So any that don't get sold at that event, I will have for sale. Although I will say that each one of these clocks in at a hefty 11 ounces, and given current shipping rates, not super cheap to ship these, but they will be available if people are interested. I'm thinking of setting it up where it's kind of for the metal ones, kind of like a pre-order thing. So I know I have a guaranteed X number of people who want them, run them as a batch, do that. For the acrylic ones, I'd probably just run them as a batch on my end, and then, you know, offer them as is, if you know what I mean, and go from there. So that's kind of the thought process behind offering them. So as for welding them, my setup isn't perfect. It's just a steel plate, and then I have one of my steel vise jaws from Monster Jaws as the other piece. I figure it's accurate enough. Clamp everything down, a couple of tack welds, pull it out, onto the next guy. So it's not a perfect process, and if I had a larger ankle plate that I could attach them to, I think I would do that, but at the same time, super good enough. So that's the backstory behind the angle plates. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think it's a great idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Would you rather just spend extra and get a machined or even a ground one? Or would something like this totally fit your needs for the modeling hobby, especially acrylic versus metal? I'd really love to know what your guys' thoughts are on that, so I can plan accordingly on my end. And yes, if there was demand for a larger size, I would actually consider doing it, because this little guy right here is only a 2x2, which is great for what I do, but if you need something bigger, let me know. I'm all ears. All right, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you here next time on Make It with Calvin with more maybe welding projects.